Doop. A doop a doop a doop a doop. It's gone! It's all fixed. I finally figured out a way to get this thing to work in full screen. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Regrowth. So, it turns out that last time I left at a pretty good spot, because there is a difficulty here that it took me hours of research and experimenting to solve. You see, as far as I can tell, emerald pipes do not work. Their filters do not work. And the only way to get pure titanium is to combine the is to combine magnesium and impure titanium in one of these vats, and then you have to pipe it out. And that fluid filter was not working, so whenever this vat would run out of pure titanium, it would start piping out the impure stuff. And it would just clog up all of the system. And it was a bear just getting that stuff into the emerald pipe in order to filter it. You cannot pick it up with a bucket. Dip, 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 dip. Instead, what I had to do is I had to make one of these crystal capsules from witching gadgets, which accept all sorts of liquid, but they act sort of weird. If you have more than one slot free on your hotbar, they will switch between them, and I just don't like them. So I threw it out, because it wouldn't work even when I put it in the crystal capsule. And I tried decanting golems, and I researched, and apparently the problem extends to mechanism pipes. So the only method I've found of filtering out the pure titanium and ensuring that all the other stuff in the vat doesn't come out is to use a seared faucet from Tinker's Construct. Yeah, these things don't just go on smelteries. These things go on anything that can contain a liquid, including these vats. And then, by putting a little bit of pure titanium in any sort of tank, I'm just using a Buildcraft tank here because of something I'm going to do later, it will then only output the thing that you want in there, because seared faucets will only pour when they have a valid destination. And since there's already the liquid you want in the tank, only that liquid can go in there. So I can sit here and I can right-click this thing day in and day out and nothing will happen. But when there's a little bit of pure titanium in there, it'll actually pour. And we've built up a good supply of it in this tank, which for right now, I'm just coming by and turning this pump on for a few minutes to get it out. Yes, and as you see, I've decorated this whole area with tons of, pipe facades and things like that, just to keep everything out of sight and keep it thematically appropriate. So, I have built up a little bit of titanium for us to use. However, I am not satisfied leaving the system here. Using this titanium, I am going to make some lasers, and with those lasers, I am going to make I think a basic gate should do it. And, well, a basic autarkic gate, anyway. And what that will allow me to do is that will allow me to program it to say, I don't know, send energy pulsar when tank is 75% full. So then I can ensure that this tank will never be empty, and as such, this seared faucet will always filter correctly, making the system idiot-proof, and I will have fully automated titanium. And that would be very, very nice. I will just turn this off so I do not forget about it. Also, between episodes, I did a little bit more nether journeying. I got myself a bunch of cobalt and ardite, and I found a lot less ardite, but I did find enough to make myself ardite seeds, which I have up here. And once these are bred up, I have enough cobalt on hand to make myself cobalt seeds, and then I will have all the Manulian forever. I also made myself wither seeds, and I made... Hello. How do you exist? Oh, that was weird. That happens every so often, I guess. I made myself slime seeds just because the reward for them gives you back the 3 essence you spend, so it's a neutral process. I made ardite seeds, I made wither seeds, and I will shortly have cobalt seeds, and then I will never have to go back to the nether ever again. Finally, the last thing to address is, it seems the elves have decided to dick us over, unsurprisingly. This Alfheim portal is just invisible. It is in fact on. Yeah. That's weird. But, oh well. I guess that it is just another... I don't have to deal with the elves' swirly portal. So I have even less elves to deal with. That's good, I guess. So, let us take these runes of wrath. Let us make some mana steel. To make some lenses. I need more glass. But let us just take that. Make those mana lenses. Make those lenses of damage. And I can use those to make myself lasers. Yes. Along with all the lovely, lovely titanium we have. And I just need some redstone. I need more redstone. No, I won't turn the camera off. I'll just cut this out in post. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll think of something funny to say. That's not very likely, though. You don't watch me to be amused. You watch me because you have nothing better to do. Yeah, I know your inner life. Oops. Okay, and then I need to go and grab, of course, some titanium. Lovely, pure titanium. Yes, compacting drawers. Compacting drawers are very, very lovely. They store lots and lots of things. And they automatically split between blocks, ingots, and nuggets for you. So I can just choose to take out nuggets. I can put them back in. You see in Wayla up there, they compress into blocks. Or I could withdraw as blocks, and you see that it just does everything for you, and is very, very lovely. So, we take those, we take those, do it a little bit messily, and that gives us our first laser. And I am going to have to build up banks of hundreds upon hundreds of these things, because lasers are relatively slow. Nope. Yes, we are going to need a big block of all the lasers, and we are going to have to just boom, blarg, and flurf, flurf, flurf. I'm a little bit low energy today, please forgive me. Diamond kinesis pipes. Let's go underground and let's figure out... I think I would like my lasers somewhere around here. And we can do this mostly underground. I can just pipe this on over. Okay, and then we'll put the assembly table right there. And I need to actually make the assembly table. Of course, I didn't actually open these. The assembler table is just some more titanium, a diamond gear, and some other things. Well, that's all easy enough. If I just take one of these iron gears, and I can take some gold and some diamond. Put that on there. Do that visit. Scanny scan. do that with it. And once again, scanny scan. Scan all the things. Then we can take one of those. And I believe it was a piece of redstone and some titanium. Yes, we are going to need tons of titanium, which is why I automated it straight off the bat. And that is the assembly table. Now, I believe I can put this just right here. That doesn't look terribly good. Maybe I'll move the lasers one farther up. And then I can put this here. Okay, let's test this thingy out. Let me just get, like, 8 pieces of redstone, and let me get a chest for it to put into. And I can just put that right there. Okay, so if I do this, and if I do that, then, yes, you can see the lasers coming on in. It is receiving 40 RF per tick. Isn't it 40 RF per laser? So it should be 80, shouldn't it? Yeah, only that laser is working. Why you do? I know you should be able to reach from there. Okay, do you need line of sight in this pack? You might need line of sight in this pack. I know you don't in ozone, but this is not ozone. Okay, so I guess a lesson was learned. Let's remove that laser. And then I guess I will have to do the pipe up on top side. And move that. So, I think what I will do... No, we'll raise it up a little bit. Okay. So, I'll put the lasers like that. No, let's do it inset. Do it inset into the floor. Like that. Oops. Like that. Okay. Yes, that looks much better. And then we can put the assembly table up on top. Okay, that's one laser, that's 2 laser. Okay, that works. That works. And eventually I'll just fill out a whole cross-section of blasty lasers here. So, this is how this works, and yes, you see it's 80 RF per tick now. You simply have lasers, and apparently they need line of sight on the table. They will shoot into it and provide power. And then you need to provide the ingredients and choose which recipe you want it to form. Now, I believe that if you have multiple recipes lined up here, it will just cycle through them in order. So you kind of have to consider that if you're doing mass scale automation, and you might need 2 or 3 laser assemblies. And you see that at 40 RF per tick, and with 2 of them not being terribly quickly on just this little baseline chipset, we are going to need quite a lot of lasers. Now, what all these chipsets and stuff is for is, well, basically for all advanced construction. We're going to need them for lots and lots of things. And lots of things in this pack will use them. What I want right now is an autarkic gate, and I believe a basic one should do. So for that, I'm going to need an integration table. To make an integration table... To make an integration table, I'm just going to need one of those redstone chipsets, another diamond gear, some titanium. Okay, that's all easy. But yes, the laser assembly is something that you either have to make frickin' huge, or you have to have it idle for long periods of time running in the background. And I need one of those. I need... four of those, and one of those. And 6 of those. So, the integration table will work just like the assembly table, and in fact it can draw from all the same laser sources. So we do that, we do that, we do that, we do all that. Okay. Did I remember to scan everything? I guess I'll see. Yes, I scanned the laser. No, I didn't scan the assembly table. Okay, I can just put that right there. And then to make that autarkic gate, I need, I believe it was... just a regular old gate and either a couple of things. Oh, this is cycling through all of them. Well, I just want a basic. So I guess I will need a basic gate and something like a pulsing chipset. Which is just a ender pearl and some other stuff, which I am out of. Yes. And let's turn that off. Yes. Ah, yes. You can select which recipes it'll do. So, because I've unselected this, it won't eat up the redstone, making more chipsets, more baseline chipsets. It will just do these pulsating ones. And I think it is about time that I make more lasers. And I think you get the general idea of what I'm doing here, so I will get back to you when I have all the ingredients for the autarkic gate assembled, and we can start playing around with that. I'll talk to you in a minute. Oh yes, and before I forget, I have 40 levels now, so I can show you all the pretty animations on all of this garbage, finally. Yes, you see, consumes the book to give you the plate. You take the plate, you put it in there. It does that. And while that is doing that, I will get some more experience seeds. Which I believe are right around there, yes. Yes, these experience drops that this thing gives you are kind of a mixed bag. On the one hand, they are worth quite a good whack of experience. But on the other hand, they can only get you to level 30. At that point, you can't eat them anymore for, I don't know, balance, I guess? So you have to get up to level 40 through other means. I can make bottles of enchanting out of all the mob essences that I have, but, yes, you see, it stopped because it made me a book. But, I don't know. I sometimes have to fight monsters just to get my wands charged, so I just go with that. And let's only take off one piece of armor at a time. You know what? I should talk about the other thing that I have. I have a flask of sane thoughts. This was a little bit of a production to make. Well, I'll show you Salus Mundus and all that later. But it gives me 10 minutes of warp ward, which prevents the bad effects of warp. So no more mind spiders when I have my armor off. Should we give this thing a name? Nah. Just make it shiny. The heck? Okay. We have ghosts again. And before I forget, let's... Yes, always put away one of the clones you get. Shiny. Yes. So that's very lovely. And in a little while, we'll get the rest of it enchanted as well. Okay, let's try this thing out. I believe that if I just put it... No? Do I have to take the thing off? Okay. Let's try that. And if I just put it there... Okay, that works. And then I believe I can tell it... Contains... Space for fluid, items in inventory. I'm just going through what all these are on. It should be more than 75% full. Well, I guess I can set it to tank full. And... energy pulsar, which is what I believe I want. So that should make it so that when the tank is full up, it will pull out of it. And I will just speed that along. I probably should have not pumped out of it before, because now I'm going to have to wait for it to fill up again for us to test this. But I'll just manually add a little bit of titanium into the system instead of the... Oh yes, I have another thing to show you downstairs, as it were. Let's just... Yes. And I can just plunk all of these down in here. But yes, as you may or may not have figured out, we have a plot of rutile seeds down here, and we found another plot that the young mane shaker does not like. Oh yes, and if you have a pipe on top of your output chest for a farm like this, you want to put facades on the sides. Otherwise, the golem can sometimes step up on top of the chest and he'll get stuck. So you just put those facades there so he can't climb up, and he will be happy when he is not being rambunctious. So that was weird. So that's all well and good. Now... It's very, very close. Yes, there it goes. And now it's empty, so it's not pulsing and it's not pulling out more. Excellent, 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 excellent. Come on, game. Come on, game. Thank you. And I believe that I can just put this back on. No. Maybe that is the sacrifice I have to make, as I can't facade it now. Oh well. I think I'll play with that a little bit, and these things are actually even easier to make than these wooden engines. All I needed to do was make some red pipe wire, which is just iron, redstone, and some dye, and I use those to make some basic gates with those redstone chipsets. And then I combine them with one of those pulsating chipsets in the integration table. Like so. And you just give it a click, and that is how it do. And those, I think, will be in place instead of all of these wooden engines until I finally get mechanism pipes. Speaking of, our next... well, we could follow the quest book. I know I haven't been using it as much as I should on screen. So, back to enables. We have our titanium. We have... oh, it wants me to actually make basic gates. Just wants one in my inventory? Okay, I can do that. Excellent. Yes. Get a bucket of oil. We could venture out to one of those oil wells nearby. I kind of skipped the combustion engine tier of energy production, didn't I? Well, we can resolve that now. Yes. You know, maybe it needs a solid facade. I think I should have a solid facade somewhere. Yeah. construction. Keep it thematic. Does that go on? No. Well, I could just use a microblocks cover. It'll still stick out, but it won't be so bad. Anyway, so that is that. We have fully automatic titanium production now. And that feels very, very lovely. So, I guess that if the quest book isn't going to be helping me out, I should figure out what I want for myself. And what I want is those logistics pipes. And for that, I'm going to need those. And for that, let's see, that's the redstone chipsets, that's fine. That's osmium plates, that's fine. I just need to make a source of osmium. This basic circuit board is another carpenter with water, so we'll make a dedicated carpenter setup for water, that's fine. And this enriched iron, we need a metallurgic infuser. So to make the metallurgic infuser, we just need those redstone chipsets. Okay, and we need a source of osmium. So, to get a source of osmium, I can do that right now, kind of. I just need to take this nether osmium that I have, and I need to bake it in these blast furnaces, which need more coke now. Yes, it turns out that steel production requires slightly more than 2 pieces of coke per thing. Or no, it does require exactly 2. That's good to know. But yes, this nether osmium ore has to be baked in a blast furnace in order to process down to regular osmium that we can process into ingots. But thankfully, I think that once we have that, yes, the essence of osmium will just make regular osmium. And to make the essence of osmium, we are going to need Manulian blocks, which is why I am breeding up those Ardite seeds so I can get the Cobalt seeds so I can get all the Manulian. And that is just going to be a bunch of seed breeding, which I am probably going to have to off-screen. So what else can we do? I think I know what I want to do. Why don't we set up carpenters for all of the forestry circuit boards? These things, of course, you saw that I'm going to need the basics for these, but we're also going to need all the others for a bunch of other things. Like if we ever want to get into bee breeding, and for all the other mechanism control parts and things like that. So, let us get started by rolling out... Oh, this is copper. I want brass. Derp. Let us roll out all of the brass things that we shall need. And while that is rolling out, let's make ourselves a pump. Yes, I was close. So, I think that it's about time I move these blast furnaces near to where I moved the bloomeries. And actually, I might not rebuild these just yet, because I have a better idea. In fact, actually, I don't think there's anything stopping me from doing that idea right now, and we might as well. Yeah. So far we've had mostly separate magisteria of magic and technology, aside from red crystal, which is close enough to technology. I mean, let's face it. It's basically just glass-encased redstone. But I think that right now I can get us our first true piece of magitech. Oh yeah. And you might know what I'm talking about. Because I am going to make... in witching gadgets, I am going to make the Infernal Blast Furnace. So this is going to require lots of Infernal Brick. We have lots of Infernal Brick. And it's going to require some stairs and some lava. It's really actually quite basic. And what the Infernal Blast Furnace is going to do is it's basically going to allow us to smelt steel from wrought iron, but it'll be much easier to accelerate, and it's not going to require fuel. So... yeah, I still have a ton of Infernal Brick from when I was building the blast furnaces. So, I'm going to need 8 units of stairs. And I believe the Thaumanomicon said... yeah, it's just 2 layers of Infernal Bricks, topped with stairs and lava. Okay. Let us go grab a bucket of lava. You know, I don't actually have a place where I can conveniently fill it. Well, I could fill it from the vats. Yeah, there we go. Okay, never mind that. So, where am I going to want these? Maybe just right behind here. Okay. So, it's just like that, and it's just like that. And the stars... I believe that there's something special we have to do with the placement of the stairs. Disclaimer, though the lava in this furnace has been... no. The stair blocks at the top actually need to face towards the middle block with the corners fitting in. Okay. I think I know what that means. It means that... well, let's put a brick over there. It means that I need to do it like this. Yeah. Yeah, see how the corners meld? Okay. And if I have this done right, I should be able to take my wand, which is full, and I should just be able to bloop. Ooh. Yeah. You don't just gain warp from doing research, you can gain it from crafting some things. So, Infernal Blast Furnace. Very, very sexy. So, this thing can be sped up by putting arcane bellows on these little pump holes that you see. It can be sped up by energizing a Ignis node, which is something I'll tell you about later. And it can be... I think that's it. But let me get myself some wrought iron. It used to be that you could just throw iron in straight and it would make the steel, but that is no longer the case. Yes. But nowadays, if you just throw in wrought iron, and you just plonk it right down in there, you see it lights all up, and that means it is processing, and eventually one of these sides will drop out a proper piece of steel. And I don't think its internal buffer has a limited size, so we can just drop all of the wrought iron into here and we'll eventually get tons and tons of steel coming out of it. Now, it shouldn't take quite as long as a regular blast furnace, just all on its own. But I am going to need to find out what side is dropping it so that I can build something to pick up the steel. Well, I can make that while I'm waiting. We need to make a hungry chest. Not a hungry maw, a hungry chest. That is just some wood and some magic, basically. So let's run over back to our Thaumcraft area. Yes. The hungry chest will take any item that is dropped onto it, and it will just nom it into its inventory. It is a very simple little device. I am all out of the... Well, okay, I need more Perdicio. That's easy enough. We have tons of that sitting in the nodes nearby. There we go. Okay, so that's the Hungry Chest. All made. Now then, if I run this guy over back to our new device... You can see it off in the distance there, it's very pretty. Now, do we see... Ah, it dropped out this side. Excellent. So, I believe if I just place the chest here, then whenever steel drops out, it'll get picked up by the chest. And I could put a Solagnolia here, but we'll see if it's a problem before we do that. So, we just dump all of the wrought iron into there. And you see that now that we don't have to worry about fuel production for this, this will make it much easier to automate this. I could in fact do that now. The only thing that's a concern is I would need to get charcoal for these bloomeries. Now, charcoal. Is there a special recipe for charcoal? Not really. You can only really make it out of wood. Well, is there a special recipe for wood? Because I believe you can make it out of nature essence. No. Okay. So I would need to design some sort of automatic wood farm in order to make steel production truly automatable. And I do in fact need a Solagnolia. That is easy enough. Doop, 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 doop. Solagnolia. Okay. Can just put that down on next to our steel. There we go. Didn't I put all the wrought iron into there? I guess I must have. And you know what? It looks like that side that it's coming out of is the side that I wanted. So that's probably how that works. Good to know. Now, what were we on about? Ah yes, we were making carpenters to make all of those... Now the question is, what the heck am I going to do with all the coke? Because I need to make coke to make creosote. I saw that charcoal can be made in the coke oven. Does that also give creosote? It do. So when I figure out how I want to make a tree farm, I could pipe the wood into coke ovens, have a huge massive coke ovens to keep up with it. That would produce a steady stream of creosote. I don't think I'm going to need it, but you know, who knows, maybe I want to make a rail system someday. Plus, like, I built the big tank, now I need to fill the big tank. Okay. So that's sturdy casings. Okay, that's 4 carpenters. Next, I need to dig a pump hole. And I believe I kept my hands on all those wooden engines, just because I knew I might have occasion for them. And I am going to need some piping for it. And I think I might be out of liquid pipes. Okay. Get a water source. I said get a water source. Now, where do we want this? Well, I moved those blast furnaces. Let's put it where the blast furnaces were. Let's just set it up right here. And then we have the pump. And I forgot to get some levers or something. Okay. Levers or something. Exactly 2 of them. Perfect. Okay, so let's set these up right here. We'll just have them all in a row. Remove that little bit of lighting. And just need to pipe that up and over. Actually, no. Don't need it down there. Because I can just have it. Yeah. I can just have it right there. Okay, next I need the power pipes. And let's just continue off of this trunk line here. Okay. And I believe... Oops. Actually, you know what? Let's just put it right there, and then go over. Yeah. Come on. Oh, there's a nook there, isn't there? Yes. Okay, and now I am going to make some Tyrian... There's the Tyrian? Yes. I'm going to make some of these. These hollow covers are a little bit fancier than just regular old covers because they allow machines to still connect. But they make the... Oops. Oh, yeah, I want it there too. But they make the connection look very smooth. You see, these ones here, it looks just like solid flooring unless you look very, very closely. But this one doesn't have one of those, and you can see the piping beneath it. In fact, let's move that. And put the Tyrian Jahzzar and Jahzzar. And now it is happy once more. Yes. So, all 4 of these have power, all 4 of these have water. Now I just need to cover up that whole area, and I need to program their recipes. So, I am going to need a whole bunch of redstone. So, let's do the tin ones over here. And I believe it goes like that and like that. Yes. And let's just make a good bunch of those. You see, it now just gives. Let's make the bronze. Let us make the iron. And let us make the gold. Actually, no, let's not make that one. Let's just put more into this, because I am going to need tons of these. So, that is the circuit boards sorted. I'm still going to have to be waiting around a whole ton for those seeds to mature, though. So, we just got Ardite finished. And I think we can do that on camera. fill out the field. That'll grow up a little bit and we'll clone it some more. But do I have enough Ardite saved up now? With these 2 pieces that I'm going to get in here. And I already have a cobalt block in here to make my cobalt seeds. Yes, you see it needs a block of cobalt and a block of Mandulian. So, do I have 5 blocks of Ardite to make another block of Mandulian? Yes, I have exactly that. Derp. Ah, yes, and I decided just to smelt up all of my osmium so I could see how much of that I had, just in case I had enough to start on industry right now. Yes, you know what I'm up to, don't you, God? I'm meddling in your domain now. Okay, so osmium itself doesn't scan. And neither do the ingots. Okay. How are we doing on that? Oh, the Mandulian comes in. Okay. And I'm going to want to keep at least 1 osmium block, because that is necessary for YACHT as well. But that will have to wait until I breed up the cobalt, because that is going to need another block of Mandulian. But now that I have that saved up, I can just inkify all the rest of the osmium and use that for industry. So, let's make our cobalt seeds. We've got Mandulian, we've got cobalt. We need a piece of refined steel, which is made by simply putting a piece of steel back in the blast furnace again. And yes, I do believe it does work with the infernal blast furnace. It even sometimes gives you a little extra nugget of steel. Yes, yes, I know, God. Cloning is against your plan. But your plan sucks. Mine's better. If you want to whine about it, make a better plan. Yours gives children bone cancer. Oh, what? You want to argue about that? I'm not the one who gives children bone cancer. I give the world industry. I rebuild all of its metals. Heck, I even appease the frickin' elves. You have no room to talk to me, mister. Showed him. Alright, fine, I accept your apology. Envy. Lust. Greed. Oh, now you're complaining about me using the runes of sin? Hey, you're the one who gave me the option. You want me to stop? Just take away free will. Easy as that. Oh, the blue dye. Yeah, well that's what I mean. Free will's part of your plan? Your plan sucks. And I have exactly one last piece of living rock. And you saw how fast that went. And thankfully we get all of our runes back. So, there we have it. Cobalt seeds. I think this feels like a good enough place to stop for the day. I probably have a good enough sized episode with all the footage I have filmed, even though I'll probably be cutting tons of it out. Today was kind of a leave the camera on type of day. Catch little bits of me talking to myself and gradually going insane thinking of things to say. So, between episodes, I will be breeding up that cobalt, and once that is complete, I will breed us up some osmium seeds, and once that is all set up, we will have everything we need to get into industry. Exciting times. I'll see you then.